Alright, hello people, random videos, random. Some people finally sucked me back into P99. People have been trying for forever. Forever. Since I've first made an EverQuest video. Pretty much, people have been trying to get me to play P99. I don't know. If you've been with the channel a while, you heard my original story where it was before live EverQuest went free to play. And I really wanted to try out six boxing. I'd never tried it before, a full-on six box, because it looked like so much fun. And tried it on P99 and got banned for it within 2 days or something like that. I knew it was against the rules. I just didn't care. I didn't care if I got banned. I just wanted to try out six boxing. And I got them up to, I think it's like level 12 or something like that before I got banned. But, you know, that story is kind of irrelevant at this point. But some people sucked me back in. I'm playing it again. Had to start with the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. God, I love Bard. I like a lot of other classes in EverQuest, but I love Bard. Love, love, love. The most utility in the game. Enchanter kinda comes close, but not really. Not when you get down to it. I mean, there are so many things that Bard can do that Enchanter can't do at all. And there's maybe... What can Enchanter do that Bard can't? Is there anything? I'm trying to think. In Classic EverQuest, we don't have Mimbler. I mean, I think at some point Song of High Sun had a Mimbler attached to it. And I know later on we get songs that have that attached to it on live. But on P99, I don't think we do. So that's the only thing, I think, that Enchanter gets that Bard doesn't get at all. And then Bard gets a shit ton of stuff that Enchanter can't do. I mean, I can track... I can run like a freaking bullet. And this is Classic EverQuest where there's no mounts, right? I'm ludicrously fast. I'm only level 22 right now. And I'm already faster than everyone else. So, it's freaking amazing. But yeah, we get tons of stuff that no one else gets. We get the only class in the entire game that can cast their spells. In this case, they're called songs, but they're spells. While moving. Which adds a very unique dynamic to the class. No one else can do it. No one else can do anything like it. There's just so many cool things about Bard. We get freaking track. There are only 3 classes in the game that get track. Bard does. We get to freaking dual wield and wear armor. And like, Bard gets a little bit of everything. Really does. And that's why I love them. Plus, in Classic EverQuest, back before it was nerfed all hell, which pissed me off to no end when it first happened, They nerfed it a couple of times, and then they put it in the grave in Planes of Power era. They nerfed it into the grave, swarm kiting. But in Classic, which P99 is based on, you can swarm kite to your heart's content. And you can get like 10 times, like the next best person in the entire game, you can get like 10 times better XP than they do. We're talking about really good soloers with really good gear that are really efficient, you know, and have like... buffs from other people and shit. Like, the ideal situation for anyone else in the entire game, you're 10 times faster than that. God forbid the people that are leveling normally. It's insane. A lot of people hate swarm kiting because one, they think it's hard to do. Like, they don't want to be a bard and swarm kite because they think it's hard. It's not hard. Anyone that tells you it's hard is an idiot. It's very easy once you get the hang of it. It takes focus. You have to pay attention. Like, God forbid. You have to actually, you know, be on the ball or you're gonna die. You're gonna die horribly. You have to really be precise. But it's not what I would call hard. But, like, from the outside perspective, people hate it because you end up taking up a lot of mobs in a zone. Like, in any given pull, you're gonna take everything you can. There's no reason not to. Everything that you can possibly pull, which could be 40 plus mobs. So a lot of people hate bards because of that. And the other reason that I get a lot of hate for swarm kiting is I'm not grouping, which is BS. I group all the freaking time. I did back in the day, too, when I was swarm kiting as a bard. You're going to see in this video, I have a full group, and that was the 3rd one of the day for that afternoon. People kept leaving, and we kept having to reform the group. That was 3 full groups. I got, I don't even know, like, probably 15 different people at least 2 levels, you know, for free. They didn't have to do anything. And at the same time, I was still getting an orange per pull. With a full freaking group of people getting XP. I was still getting a full orange bub per pull in Oasis. So, There's no reason not to group with people just because you're swarming. You don't have to, obviously, but it's nice, and you're still getting a crap ton of HP. Plus, the benefit is, if there's any nasty mob that you don't want, you can have them get it out of the way for you in whatever your lane is, wherever you're gonna kite. Like, in Oasis, it's the freaking madmen because they have a ranged route, which will get you freaking killed. It will kill you. You have to avoid those guys like the plague, but if you have a group, they're not doing anything anyways, so just have them go kill all the madmen while you're gathering up your mobs and starting your kite and all that. So it makes things easier on you too. But, yeah, swarm kiting. In the video, you're going to see a progression. I started, I think, at level 12 in North Corona. I don't remember when I went to East Corona. It might have been like level 15 or so. And then the end of the video is Oasis, which, again, I'm not sure when I started Oasis. It might have been like, I want to say 17-ish. I don't know. Something like that. But you're going to see a progression from level 12 all the way up to level 20. You probably shouldn't stay in Oasis any longer than that. After that, which is where I am right now, you want to go to Kunark, which is where things get a little more interesting. Kunark is unforgiving. Way, like, EverQuest Classic is unforgiving, but Kunark is even worse. But yeah, you can start at level 2. You can start swarm kiting at level 2 if you want to. There's no reason not to. It's just, I don't know, you don't have to. I messed around with it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit of XP that way, but mostly from level, I want to say 5 up to 12, I was grouping. Outside of Crushbone and in Crushbone. And the benefit of that is I got a bunch of gear. Like, I got a bunch of free leather armor, and I got the Emperor Crush's tunic, and I got some earrings from the slave quest and Crushbone. A couple other things I'm forgetting. But swarm kiting, you're not going to get any loot. Not anything you'd want anyway. You'll get some vendor trash to sell, but you're not going to get anything that you're going to actually equip. So eventually you're going to have to group. You're going to have to, like, do some dungeons to get some actual loot. I guess you could just try and farm like mad. Usually the better things to farm aren't swarm kiteable, or you wouldn't want to swarm kite them, in my experience. But what? Anyways, doesn't matter. So yeah, you're going to see the progression. The idea of swarm kiting is stupid simple. People overcomplicate the crap out of it, and some people just do it plain wrong. I don't know why they're doing it that way. It's really, really easy. Set up a strafe key if you don't have it set up. I've got mine set to Q and E. Hold one of the strafe keys, hold W. You'll run kind of, you'll be running forward as far as your camera position, but your character will be tilted off to the side. So your character will be moving diagonally forward. It's weird. Like, you'll be moving forward, but you'll be facing diagonal to one of the left or right, either way. It's strange. You do that because, one, you move a little bit faster. Anyone who's ever had to run away from anything and didn't want to die and knows what they're doing, they're strafe walking, is what they used to call it back in the day. So, hell, if nothing else, if you don't even care about bards and swarm kiting, and you play EverQuest, there you go, you just learned something. If you want to get away from something, strafe walk. Hold one of the strafe buttons and forward. You'll move a little bit faster than you otherwise would. And also, more importantly, for swarm kiting, your hitbox shrinks when you're running diagonally like that. For whatever reason, when they set up the characters, you've got a bigger hitbox behind your character and to the sides. I don't know why. Think of it like a T shape, right? And there's gaps to the diagonals, which, when you're strafe walking away from a train, your diagonal is facing the train, so your hitbox shrinks. Which is the only reason swarm kiting even works, really. But, yeah, you strafe walk forward. Well, sorry, first you grab a big train. Avoid things that have increased movement speed. Basically avoid things that don't all run at the same speed. That's the easiest way to do it. And then if there's enough mobs that all run at the same speed but different from what you would normally kite in the zone, then grab all those next and do a mini swarm kite of them to get them out of the way, to get other stuff spawning. But ideally, if you're lazy, you just grab everything that runs at the same speed and doesn't cast spells. Like the freaking madmen. God, I hate those things. But anything that casts a ranged spell, avoid those. And then grab everything up. Everything you can. The bard dots have unlimited targets. I don't know why they did it that way. So again, that's the only reason swarm kiting works. But grab everything you can, as many as you can, that all run the same speed. Circle them up in a bunch, and you can either... I've seen people do it all kinds of different ways. As long as you're strafe walking, you're not technically doing it wrong. You can go in circles. You can go in half circles. I've seen that. You can do this like zigzag pattern thing I saw a guy doing today. I don't know I don't know why you would do it that way, but to each their own. The way I like to do it is just run in a straight line. Seems to be the simplest way. It's easier to see because alternating between strafe left and strafe right, moving forward, you have 180-degree vision in front of you when you're moving in a straight line. When you're running a circle, whatever vision's behind you, like if you're strafing to the right, your whole left side is continually being cut off. So it's conceivable that something could walk into that position as you're passing, and then you get stunned and you're dead. So maybe that's why that guy zigzags, I guess. I technically zigzag some of the time, but I don't actually zigzag. Like, I alternate between strafing left and strafing right, but I change my mouse or whatever. Change my character position immediately, so I'm not actually zigzagging. My character is turning, but I'm not, like, you know, in place, but he's not zigzag, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm getting off topic. But yeah, grab a bunch of mobs that run the same speed and don't cast spells, bunch them up, run however the hell you feel like, zigzag if you freaking want, who cares, and then keep the mobs just off the screen. That's it. There, you now know how to swarm kite. It couldn't be any more simple. The level 2 song you're going to have up until level 17, it's the only one you'll have, has a little bit shorter range than the level 18 song, which makes it a little bit more dangerous to swarm kite, but it's not impossible. I mean, I did it starting at level 12, so it's far from impossible. It's just a little bit harder. But once you get to 18, it becomes, I'm not going to say significantly easier, a little bit easier. You get a little bit more leeway, and the song's going to hit harder. What a lot of people do, and I don't do, because I'm lazy and I don't want to mess with it, you can twist your level 2 song and your level 18 song together. The reason I don't do it is, I already mentioned it, I'm lazy. I mean, ideally, if you want to mess with it, I mean, I have done it, I've tried it. If you want to mess with it, you're going to kill faster, but you don't really need to. And I'm already focused on, you know, not dying, like keeping my positioning right, so I don't want to mess with anything else, honestly. But, you know, you could. But yeah, there you go. Between the explanation and actually watching the video, you should now know how to swarm kite. There's no big mystery. People back in the day used to never want to do it, and they'd like blow it out of proportion, like, you know, it takes massive amounts of skill to swarm kite. Some stupid garbage. It doesn't. It took skill after they nerfed the shit out of it. Then it took skill. But in like EverQuest Classic, which is what P99 is based on, it's not that hard. You get a lot of leeway. So, but anyways, for the rest of the video, it's just gonna be some Bard swarm kiting. Watch it or don't. It's up to you. I'm gonna have some music going in the background. I'll turn the music up whenever the commentary ends. It's just random stuff from Techno Axis channel. I've used his music before because it's completely copyright free. He straight up says that anyone that wants to use it for anything can, which is great. And he's got a lot. I don't know how many songs he has at this point. Like, it's probably over 1,000. It's ludicrous. I don't know how this guy pumps out this much music. It can't just be him. There's no way. Fundamentally, it cannot just be one guy. It has to be multiple people. And they don't charge anything for any of it. So, I'll put the links in the description too, so check out his music. Like I said, a lot of it's really good. But, there you go. Swarm kiting. I think I said this already, but me and 2 other people are playing on P99 at the moment. And if you catch us or hell just me on and you want to play, let me know. I don't know how long I'm going to be playing P99, but I'm playing it for now, so there you go. Random video. I'll see you guys next time.